every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Do you know that? When I show you what I'm about to show you, your mind will be blown. You're going to be blindsided. Every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Do you know that? I was just talking about Ben Gurion. Do you know what his original name is? It's Gruen. Gruen. He changed it to make it sound more Jewish and sound more Middle Eastern. Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky.
This story begins in October 1949, 1 year after Israel's formation. This is where Netanyahu was born, the second child of a historian. His paternal grandfather was a rabbi and a Zionist writer. His name was Nathan Milikowski. Later in life, he Hebraized his surname from Milikowski to Netanyahu, a name which means God has given.
This is Yair Netanyahu's DNA test that has been leaked. You can see right there his Y DNA is RM198. Descendants of RM198 come from Poland, Russia, Germany, and other European countries. Does this look Semitic to you? Does this look Middle Eastern?
Maybe you will ask, who is Mr. Milkovsky?
I did ask, and you told me, but I didn't know before.
He is Benjamin Netanyahu. This is the real name.
Prime Minister or President of Israel.
A colonial settler state of Israel.
I swear to God, go and look it up. You'll find Milkovsky. That's his real name. These are, remember what Israelis are. Israelis are European Jews. They don't come from Palestine, but they want you to make you believe. They want to make believe and make you believe that they come from this area, that they are indigenous to the land, that they're so Jewish, right? Even though they have no connection. So they change the names.
Where are those people? They weren't all around the world. They were carried. You couldn't travel all around the world very easily in that era. You made it just a little ways away. And many of them made it into what would later become Arab land.
It's a pretty lousy 2,000 years, pogroms, Holocaust, but about 150 years ago, secular Jews, primarily Herzl, Jabotinsky, and others, took the initiative, let's come back to our own homeland. The Jews are the indigenous people of the land of Israel.
And then he's saying that these are the indigenous people. We know that they're not. He's saying that Herzl, who was an Austrian, took the initiative to go back to the homeland. But what we know is that there were periods of time it's not common now to convert to Judaism, but there were periods of time where there were massive conversions to Judaism. For example, the Romans, during the Roman times, there was quite a bit of conversion to Judaism. Take into consideration, 10% of their population was Jewish. Many of them have converted to Judaism. Compare that to the United States, where the population of the Jewish population here is like 4% or something really small. So in the Roman times, and this is actually the second largest hub of Jews outside of Israel, is here in the United States. So there was a lot of Romans who converted, including Roman elites like Queen Helena and Nero converted to Judaism. Nero. There was also mass conversion within the Roman Empire itself. We also know that there was a lot of other conversions that happened with the Khazars, for example, the Khazarian Empire, which takes up modern-day Ukraine, parts of Russia, not Czechoslovakia, let me just pull up the map here. The various different, so pretty much, Georgia, Russia, and Ukraine predominantly is where the Khazar Empire was. And Herzl and many of the early Zionists came from that region. They're Austrian, Russian, coming from that region, where we know that there was later on, many years after any of these biblical stories, there was a lot of conversion to Judaism. Many people assert that Herzl and many of the Ashkenazi Jews that come from these Eastern European areas are actually descendants of converts.
Here's another one. Moshe Sharat, his name is Chertok originally. You've got Levi Eshkol. Eshkol was Shklonik. So he changed it from Shklonik to Eshkol. Then you have Yigal Alon, his original name, Peikovitz. Golda Meir, Israel's first female prime minister. Her real name is not Golda Meir, it's Mabovich. Mabovich. More like Majid. We have Yitzhak Rabin, right? His name is not Rabin, it's Rubitsov. Are you seeing the pattern? These are Eastern European names. Not Palestinian, not Jewish, not Middle Eastern. They're Eastern European, okay?
You can convert to Judaism. You can't convert to a blood family. You cannot convert to a race. Judaism is a religion. That's all it is.
They're not Palestinian. They don't come from this region. Yitzhak Shamir. He's a great one. You know, Yitzhak Shamir, he's on the wanted poster because he was wanted by the British police in Palestine for terrorism. But they don't tell you that. So Yitzhak Shamir, his original name is Yezernitsky. Shimon Peres, Persky. Netanyahu, I already told you, Malikovsky. I think I said Milkovsky, excuse me, it's Malikovsky. Never, you know, it's the same point. Ehud Barak is Brog, so B-R-O-G. Brog, he changed it to Barak. Ariel Sharon, his original name is Shinerman. Shinerman. He changed it to Sharon. And Yair Lapid, who's you still see him changing posts, his original name is Lampel, so he changed it from Lampel to Lapid. Ain't it lovely? Ain't it lovely? You know, it's like I know half of you didn't know this. I guarantee half of you at least didn't know this stuff. I guarantee you, because no matter how much you know about the Zionists, you will always discover new things about them.
Vasilevsky, you mentioned before, obviously, the Khazars and the king and the nation that converts in the Khazari to the Jewish religion. What is the historical support? There's been so many novels, so many books on the Khazars and the Khazar and the empire and et cetera, et cetera. What's the historical support for that whole story?
Okay, I'd say the world's knowledge about the Khazars started in the 10th century when Chasai ibn Shaprut, who was the sort of foreign minister of Abdul Rahman III, the Caliph, the Umayyad Caliph of Andalusia, of Muslim Spain, heard from travelers that there was this nation in Central Asia, the Jewish nation. He wrote a letter and received to the king and asked what's going on. He received a letter back. This is from a king of the time named Yosef, who explains what I said before about the king's search for for the true religion. It is true that many people over the years have doubted the historicity of the letter. There has a question of whether it's just the king and the royalty, or the nobility that converted, or everybody converted. We don't have any literature as such from the Khazars. However, in the past, say, 50 years or so, more and more research has substantiated the letter from Yosef. There's some of the descriptions of the Khazar life and the Khazar history seem to be substantiated from other sources. Coins were found mentioning the name Moses. A letter was found in the Genizah, which might have some Khazar writing or Khazar names in it.
Every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Do you know that? When I show you what I'm about to show you, your mind will be blown. You're going to be blindsided. Every single Israeli prime minister has a fake name. Do you know that? I was just talking about Ben Gurion. Do you know what his original name is? It's Gruen. G-R-U-E-N. He changed it to make it sound more Jewish and sound more Middle Eastern. Do you know what Netanyahu's real name is? It's not Netanyahu, it's Milkovsky.
This story begins in October